Take a look at this. More than a dozen injured war vets went skydiving today. Limbs of Love held its second annual Airborne Amputee skydive. 15 wounded warriors who lost their limbs while serving in Iraq and Afghanistan enjoyed an all-expense paid trip to skydive Spaceland. The jump was supposed to take place yesterday, but it was too cold and windy, so today it went off without a hitch. Some say this jump from 14,000 feet in the air isn't only for themselves, but for their families as well.
Instead of, their father and husband kind of having troubles getting around the house, now he's jumping out of airplanes, doing all kinds of normal things and having fun.
A lot of these guys have hundreds of jumps under their belts, but this is their first time to jump after they've lost their limb. And so they're jumping today to prove to the world that life is not over after amputation.
Now, Limbs of Love also helps patients across Texas that do not have the means to get prosthetic limbs. To date, the group has donated over $400,000 in devices. At WW Diving in Humble, an Iraqi war veteran injured in combat gets a scuba lesson for an upcoming trip. Retired Army Sergeant Latsine Benson lost both of his legs and suffered damage to his right hand during his second tour of duty in Iraq in 2005. He and his wife are learning to dive together for the 5th annual Dive Pirates trip this June.
He has to use webbed gloves now, and then he uses one prosthetic with a fin on it to help him control himself in the water. But as for the rest of the equipment, I mean, you still put on the same BC, put on the same tank, and once you're underwater, there's really not a whole lot of difference.
The Dive Pirates Foundation is dedicated to bringing scuba diving to people with disabilities.